Why you think people love Caitlin Clark besides her skills?
She can shoot threes from logo.
We never seen that before. That's my point.
Breaking news out of the WNBA world. Shaquille O'Neal has just dropped a brutal truth bomb on Angel Reese on her own podcast. What started as a friendly conversation turned into Shaq praising Caitlin Clark like never before and Angel Reese. She was left speechless, blindsided, and visibly uncomfortable. Tonight, we break down every moment, every reaction, and what this clash really means for the future of women's basketball.
Steph Curry, a little kid. Like, Steph Curry, I love. You know why I love Steph Curry? Because I've never seen that before. I've seen it a little bit, but I've never seen a guy consistently.
Angel Reese probably thought this episode would be smooth. Some laughs, some basketball talk, maybe a little Shaq wisdom. But Shaq had other plans. From the opening minutes, he made Caitlin Clark the center of attention, asking Angel straight up, "Why do people love Caitlin so much besides her skills?" And that's when the tension started to build.
Like a perfect, normally office guy.
Yeah.
He's doing stuff that people never seen before. She's doing stuff we've never seen before.
Angel's answer? The logo threes. As if Caitlin Clark's popularity boiled down to one trick shot. Shaq wasn't having it. His tone shifted. His eyes narrowed. And then came the hammer. Shaq reminded Angel Caitlin Clark isn't just a shooter. She's the best passer, the most marketable athlete in the world right now, and the engine of women's basketball. Sports Pro even ranked her ahead of Ronaldo and Messi on the global athlete marketability list. Shaq wasn't complimenting. He was laying down facts.
Final four, I'm like, damn, like, and I was a hater because, you know, I'm down. She was like, she's not going to hit that shot, and bam, like, damn, she's not going to hit that shot, man. Like, if I say 10 times you're not going to hit the shot and you hit the shot, that means you lose.
And then Shaq made the comparison that broke the internet. Steph Curry, the baby-faced assassin who changed basketball forever. Shaq said Caitlin Clark is doing for the women's game what Curry did for the NBA, normal-looking, unassuming, yet rewriting the rules of the sport. He said, and I quote, "If I doubt you 10 times and you hit that shot 10 times, then you're the truth." Shaq was telling Angel Reese your rival isn't just good. She's historic. Angel Reese tried to keep her composure, but her silence spoke louder than words. Here was her mentor, Shaq, sitting across from her, showering her biggest rival with praise. The body language said it all: crossed arms, forced laughs, eyes darting away. Viewers could feel the awkwardness through the screen. Shaq had just shifted the balance of power, right in Angel's own house. Shaq admitted something Rara doubted Caitlin Clark. He didn't believe she could keep hitting those deep shots, making those impossible passes. But game after game, she proved him wrong. Over and over. And Shaq made it clear, anyone still doubting Caitlin Clark isn't paying attention. That honesty carried weight. It wasn't just praise, it was Shaq putting his reputation behind Clark's greatness. Angel Reese couldn't have missed the subtext. Clark isn't just beating her on the court, she's dominating the culture, the endorsements, the spotlight. Shaq wasn't trying to humiliate Angel, but the message was clear. Caitlin Clark is on a different level. And Angel? She's being left behind. That's not just awkward. That's emotional damage. This wasn't just a podcast moment. It was a cultural shift. Shaq was saying out loud what many already feel: Caitlin Clark isn't just another great player. She's a once-in-a-generation talent transforming the WNBA. And by saying it on Angel Reese's podcast, he forced the world to confront the truth. This wasn't shade. This was Shaq, the legend, declaring a new era. Shaq destroyed Angel Reese on her own show, not with insults, but with undeniable facts. Caitlin Clark is the truth. And Angel Reese? She'll have to decide whether she wants to fight it or finally admit it. One thing's for sure, the Caitlin Clark era has only just begun. What do you think? Was Shaq being unfair to Angel Reese? Or was he simply telling the truth? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe for more WNBA investigations. This is just the beginning. Imagine inviting a legend like Shaquille O'Neal onto your own podcast, only for him to tell the world that your biggest rival is better than you. That's exactly what just happened to Angel Reese. And trust met his moment has shaken the WNBA community to its core. This rivalry didn't start yesterday. Angel Reese became a household name after taunting Caitlin Clark during LSU's NCAA title run. But since entering the WNBA, Clark has flipped the script, selling out arenas, breaking viewership records, and turning into the face of women's basketball. And that spotlight is exactly why Shaq's comments cut so deep. During Angel Reese's own show, Shaq dropped a truth bomb. He admitted he was once a Caitlin Clark hater, but her skills, her work ethic, her leadership changed his mind. Shaq didn't hold back. He called her a once-in-a-generation player, a mix of Steph Curry's shooting and Chris Paul's vision. On Angel's turf, Shaq crowned Clark as the real star. As Shaq sang Caitlin's praises, Angel Reese couldn't escape the spotlight. This season, she ranked among the WNBA's most inefficient shooters inside 5 feet. While Clark spent her off-season grinding in the gym, Angel leaned into podcasts, fashion appearances, and branding. That contrast only made Shaq's words sting harder. And this isn't the first time Shaq has shown love for Caitlin Clark. Earlier this year, he called her the best college player in women's basketball history. He even admitted that Angel Reese clouded his judgment at first, but watching Clark dominate forced him to change. When a legend like Shaq flips sides, you know the tide has turned. This isn't just about one podcast. It's about the future of the WNBA. Clark is bringing in fans by the millions, selling out arenas, and breaking every ratings record. Analysts like Stephen A. Smith and Rachel Nichols agree Clark is changing women's basketball forever. Shaq just confirmed what fans already know. She's not the future. She's the present. For Angel Reese, this was emotional damage in real time. Shaq didn't just praise, Clark did it right in front of Angel, on her platform, with the whole world watching. Fans called it a burn, a hijacking, even a career reality check. For Reese, the message was clear. She may be popular, but Clark is the one moving the game forward. And it's not just Shaq. Steph Curry has called Clark's range special. LeBron James says she's carrying women's basketball into a new era. Even soccer icons like Ronaldo and Messi are being compared to her cultural pull. Shaq's words weren't an outlier, they were confirmation of a growing reality. So here's the takeaway. Shaquille O'Neal didn't just give his opinion, declared a new era. Caitlin Clark isn't here to compete. She's here to dominate. And Angel Reese? She may have just learned that the hard way on her own show. What do you think? Was Shaq out of line for crowning Caitlin Clark on Angel Reese's podcast? Or was he simply telling the truth? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because this rivalry and this story is far from over. When news broke that Shaquille O'Neal, the larger-than-life NBA legend, stepped into Angel Reese's own podcast studio and unleashed a verbal storm that shook the WNBA world to its core, fans could hardly believe their ears, because what started as a seemingly friendly sit-down quickly turned into one of the most shocking, raw, unfiltered, and brutally honest exchanges in sports media history. With Shaq doing what Shaq does best, speaking his mind without fear, without hesitation, and without the sugarcoating that most modern athletes hide behind. And poor Angel Reese, who has been riding high on her new wave of fame, endorsement deals, and social media clout, was suddenly thrust into a storm of her own making as Shaq, her supposed mentor and supporter, called her out directly over her comments, actions, and attitude toward none other than Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever superstar who has become the center of every conversation in women's basketball. And Shaq's words didn't just sting. They cut deep, leaving Angel visibly shaken on her own show, as fans flooded the internet with memes, clips, and reactions declaring that Shaq had single-handedly delivered emotional damage on live podcast format, cementing yet another legendary moment in his post-basketball career. Because let's be real, when Shaq talks, the sports world listens, and when Shaq criticizes, the criticism echoes louder than anyone else's. So imagine the weight of his booming voice telling Angel Reese that, instead of constantly trying to tear down Caitlin Clark, she should be focusing on building her own game, her own legacy, her own positive influence in the WNBA. And imagine the moment Angel, who has been praised for her confidence and fire, was suddenly silent, trying to process the fact that Shaq was not only defending Caitlin Clark, but practically lecturing her on the difference between confidence and arrogance, between hype and humility, between rivalry and respect, and the podcast, which was supposed to be a fun conversation, turned into a masterclass of verbal schooling, with Shaq as the professor and Angel Reese as the student who wasn't ready for the pop quiz. And this is where it got even wilder, because Shaq, who has never been shy about sharing his love for Caitlin Clark's game, went point by point, breaking down how Caitlin has elevated women's basketball to levels nobody thought possible, how her shooting range is generational, how her vision on the court reminds him of the greats, how her presence fills arenas with fans who never cared about women's basketball before, and how Angel should be grateful that she is playing in an era where Caitlin Clark exists, because without Caitlin, without that spark, without that spotlight, the WNBA wouldn't be seeing the surge of attention it's enjoying right now. And Shaq even told Angel directly, in that larger-than-life Shaq tone, "You don't tear down the bridge you're standing on, you build on it." A line that fans instantly clipped and spread like wildfire on TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube, calling it the bar of the year, the truth bomb nobody saw coming, and the shot that broke